Holy shit.
Let's see if TARS actually keeps going for that turn 1. I'm expecting TARS to push turn 1, knowing Magic Man really wants to also push turn 1. So if these two are both going to be competing, we'll see where the draft takes.
This is looking to be a very cool matchup. I'm excited to see what these players draft. And I'm wondering if TARS has got some secrets for us, like you're saying. Maybe there's some monsters that we're not seeing represented in the most picks. Could be pocket picks that they're waiting for the right time, because this is the time to do it. The regionals, again, the winner of this tournament is going to go straight to the finals.
Yep, there's a Juno pre-ban. Juno's pre-ban is signaling a lot of things that could be coming to this field right now that TARS has to offer. And of course, we're going to be seeing the Oliver pre-ban. Totally makes sense. Shizuka is going to be the first pick taken from TARS.
I love seeing the Shizuka represented super early, just because, you know, we talk about this pretty often, right? Shizuka's in such a great spot in the meta right now that even before debuffs are on the table, she's still a solid pick. She's still going to benefit your team. And we saw Han flash there a couple times.
Yeah, Han being flashed there. I'm not too sure about the Han just yet. And then we're going to be seeing a Tian Lang and a Gianna coming out of TARS. That's aggressive.
That is super aggressive. I can't help but wonder, is the Tian Lang drafted a little early because of, was it drafted in response to seeing the Han flashed, is what I'm wondering. Because is that responding to something that's not on the board is kind of an interesting take. So we'll have to see how that pans out, especially considering that it's a low amount of hindrance with the Gianna, but it's a hindrance nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. I think Tian Lang is fine here. I like Tian Lang better in the last picks, you know, where that Dominic and Nana are looking right now. I prefer Tian Lang here, but I think Tian Lang's definitely fine in any draft here. Tian Lang just offers just so much to a team here. Interesting to see the segment being paired up here with Josephine in round 2 picks here coming out of Magic Man.
Yeah, right. The Josephine seems to be pretty apt in this situation, considering how many opportunities for stun there are on the side of TARS here. Because, I mean, Nana traditionally ruined on Despair, right? And then we've also got the native stuns from Gianna, from Tian Lang, and then Shizuka, who, of course, is going to see those and apply them to the enemy.
Yeah, we also have the Praha sleeping itself, popping up the shield with the passive Josephine. I've seen that play a lot, but, I mean... TARS knows that's coming, like knows that's something that's going to be done on the field, and looks like that's not something he wants to even deal with. I know Josephine can definitely be an RNG unit here, and I think that's why the Josephine's getting banned out here. He doesn't want anything that he doesn't have to deal with that surprises him, and I think the Josephine throws off the game. Dominic, very understandable ban, brings a lot of threats to the table here, even with the Abelio. Dominic doesn't care about an Abelio. HP leads for both these players here, expecting TARS to be taking turn 1. Well, I'm expecting the segment to go first, actually.
Yeah, good bans from both players, I'll say, but at the moment, I personally prefer Magic Man's draft, just because I think that Abelio is going to actually be a real menace for TARS if he can get through that Gianna. Gianna's bombs are probably the main thing that he should be afraid of.
Yeah, for sure. Gets a defense break, able to keep alive. Masha's still looking a little healthy here, definitely fine for Magic Man for sure. Defense break sitting on top of the Praha is exactly what TARS was looking for here.
And there we go. We're already starting to see Abelio's influence play into the way this match goes. Shizuka is spending a lot of time thinking for having very few skills available. Nice proc down lane.
Yep, yeah, I think he was looking at attack bars there. Decided to go with the second skill. Gets that nice stun. Good damage landing on top of that Abelio, though. Abelio is looking a little low here. Masha potentially looking to get rid of that Gianna already.
Yeah, if the Gianna goes down, it could potentially be bad. That's the proc that you're looking for to take that Soul Stone away. She's still going to get a turn, but you want to get that kill as early as humanly possible. Now, Praha, it is incumbent on her that she heals up that bear.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of folks are going to go onto that Abelio. Removing that unit from the field is going to be really big for the TARS here. Should be staying on top of the Abelio. Does get the kill there. Orb's going to be popping up, which is massive for TARS.
Absolutely huge, Stoic. That, like we talked about, that was going to be a pretty big threat for the long game in TARS' detriment here, and now that he's gotten rid of it and come up on a Soul Stone, things are looking pretty solid.
Yep, you're going to see that segment with that third skill going out onto the Shizuka. You're going to keep that reset because he doesn't want to see Shizuka do any skills here. Bomb is going to be landing true on top of the Praha, and the next unit to get rid of is going to be that segment. He wants to stop the resets coming out of the segment, but also Magic Man wants to make sure there's no orbs on the field, so he's going to get rid of that Gianna, the lowest HP unit on the field.
That was a great thing to note, Stoic, about making sure that Sekhmet stays on the Shizuka. That proc was pretty big from her, because that means that she's going to get to use that skill 2 before Sekhmet gets around to resetting her again.
Yep, looking for the attack break, a little bit more damage coming out onto the Gianna. There's that soul coming right back there. TARS is able to hold on by eliminating units, keeping up those orbs on top of his Nana.
And speaking of souls, we got soul protection here, so maybe if she goes down, you don't even need to use the soul stone from Nana.
Yep, nice little bomb there. Strips the immunity, of course, is going to be stunning up that Masha. There's that skill, too, looking for a little bit of value. Does gain a little bit of value on top of that Gianna as well. Big damage coming out from this Tian Lang. Might look for the dismount already, because that bomb might be enough here.
Yeah, that was a good play. Choosing to sacrifice the soul protection for raw damage. There we go. TARS taking game 1.
TARS taking that game 1. Definitely a great victory from him. And now Magic Man has to think about this next match here. What is something that really gave him a lot of trouble here? And I don't think it is the Gianna, but we might see the Gianna pre-ban.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Gianna pre-ban, but I do think that Shizuka is also going to be an issue long-term, just because, like, having to stay on that Shizuka all game kind of limited how much his Sekhmet could contribute. And the pre-bans do go out. Ultimately, it's Tian Lang and Savannah.
Interesting to see the Savannah ban here, and I think it's expecting that TARS thinks Magic Man's really going to be pushing for that turn 1, eliminating the Savannah. So, in return, TARS is going to be taking a 33 speed in the form of Oliver and Gianna.
What a strong start. That's super indicative of TARS' playstyle. We saw this in his most picked. He's bringing what he's most familiar with to the table here, and here's Magic Man responding with arguably the favorite response to Oliver this season in Masha.
Ooh, Water Monkey King is going to make his way to the field. I do like this unit. That is really, really nice to have the Shizuka on the field if it's able to get the value of that third skill coming out of the Water Monkey King.
I love Shiho both as a unit and as a combo piece with Shizuka. Like you said, making invincibility available to Shizuka is so huge. And the one thing that I do find is that Oliver tends to be a little difficult with Shiho, because occasionally you'll find a window where you can poke at him and increase his cooldown time before that invincibility and immunity comes up. We're going to see if TARS can find it unless it gets banned.
If TARS doesn't want to see Magic Man take a turn at all, and the response for Magic Man is going to be passives. He's going to be bringing a Vertiheal, and Leo hasn't locked it in yet. And it looks like he just wants to passively deal with all the attack bar pushback and the control coming out of TARS right now.
I love the Verd as a response to all that. Oh, the Chiwu. Okay, cool. The Chiwu, well, I gotta admit, I did like the Leo a little bit more.
Oh my lord.
Oh my heavens.
He does have a Gurkha. If he doesn't draft the Gurkha, I hate that he showed the Gurkha, unless Magic Man already knew the Gurkha was
I think it's
in the
just
box,
because
though.
there's a lot of immunity individually between the Shizuka, the Masha, and the She-House, so maybe he doesn't think that he can efficiently get rid of it, but I mean, he's got 3 strippers, now he's got 4 strippers. What more could he possibly want?
I'm a big fan of Taz right now. I think he's got a great draft, a lot of control. He now has the sustain as well. Water Monkey King's going to be biting the dust here, and of course, Water Ryu's going to get the ban with the 3 fire units on the field here. Now, I gotta give it to TARS. I think TARS got a better draft as we get into round 2 between TARS and Magic Man.
It is a super solid draft. Not a lot of immunity for Gianna to kind of make use of here with the 3rd skill, but I mean, she can still open up with a bomb. Chooses to put it on Verd. Kind of interesting that he didn't go for the early place on Masha, because there might not be another opportunity.
Nah, but the most important unit here that got stunned up is the Shizuka. TARS needs to control that Shizuka and keep his Oliver alive here. You're going to see a big 3rd skill coming out here, looking to reduce the attack bars. Despair!
It's Despair!
Chung-Hung!
Oh, it's Despair, Stoic. Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
That was massive for TARS there. Even able to heal up his team as well. Oliver looking all healthy again, looking to reset and keep this Shizuka under control here.
He had a surprise. That element of surprise is so huge, and it was great, because I was kind of curious why he went to use that 3rd skill with the Verd still on the table and fully able to counterattack, but he knew what he was aiming for.
Yep, he already got the reset on top of the Shizuka. I think he's going to pummel the damage and make sure that the Vertigo is going to get removed from the field. TARS looking for the safe play. Goes for more attack bars here. He wants to reduce the Shizuka as well. Going to see that third skill coming back onto the Shizuka to push back more attack bars here. That is so nice that he's able to control that unit here, because if that Shizuka is able to get anything off here, that's going to be Magic Man's like ability to bounce back here. Bomb's going to land as well. Doesn't have to touch this unit. The unit to get rid of is definitely that Vertigo.
So well played here coming out from TARS. Excellent unit management, effectively seeing what threats he needed to get rid of, placing bombs strategically, playing safe, reducing the attack bar from Shizuka to make sure that she doesn't get a turn before he's ready for it.
Now, Masha can pop off there. Masha was obviously able to remove the Oliver from the field. It was inevitable. It's definitely going to be happening here. Bomb does take care of the Vertiheal, and that's definitely going to be a weight lifted off of Tar's shoulders here, which is really nice here. I think he does go for the strip and remove the immunity to help push back. Does not. Looks like he's going to try and just get rid of the Chiwu. If you can take units out, looks like Tar's looking to just remove units from the field. It's going to be a lonely Masha, and I got to give it to Masha. Masha does have the ability to really pop up. The defense breaks do come.
If anybody could, it's definitely her. And here we go. So he's got the chance. Oh, and TARS. You called it.
Not going to happen there.
You called
TARS
it right
is able to control Magic Man. There you have it. TARS taking round 2 away from Magic Man. Yeah, I'm interested if Magic Man just needs to change his pace here. Stop looking for the turn 2 and maybe fight back for that turn 1. And maybe he knows that TARS might just be a faster player. Who knows? But we're going to see a Juno pre-ban once again. Oliver's going to get the pre-ban here, so removing that unit from the field. Something that definitely kept Magic Man back. So let's see. Does Magic Man choose to try to fight back at turn 1? Because I feel like getting into a game 3 here, that's the do or die situation. TARS has already played very well going into Magic Man. I think Magic Man needs to surprise him. Really push for that turn 1 and take advantage of TARS.
Yeah, we're digging a little bit into the past here, but I really did like the Leo that Magic Man showed there. And then maybe he wouldn't have banned the Moore. He could have banned the Oliver instead, because he was pretty convinced the Chiwu was going to make it. So he banned Moore to make sure that the Chiwu didn't give him a turn on accident. So in my mind, I think that was, maybe there was an issue with the pivoting there, but who's to say, right? There's a reason why they're here. They know their draft better than anybody. So let's see. We've seen all these units before. TARS is playing kind of a hybrid of what we've seen over the last 2 games. Again, guys, this is match point. This is best of 5.
Yep. There's the Tian Lang coming back again. The very dominant Dominic is coming in here. And, of course, Connell and one other pick is going to be drafted by Magic Man.
The Cardinal's pretty sweet here. If he were to perhaps ban out Shizuka or something and try to take that control away from TARS and bring a unit that can stun further, that's great. Nice Sekhmet there. Looks like maybe the Shizuka is staying in the game here, Star.
Yeah, I did like that Sekhmet play against Shizuka. He was able to control it there, but he has to make sure he's able to control the rest of the team coming out of TARS here.
Yeah, and he's got to make sure that TARS actually makes that same, I call it a mistake for lack of a better word, and lets the Sekhmet through. Maybe he identifies what went wrong, you know, or like that slight variance, right, and ends up banning out the Sekhmet altogether. Nana and Gianna wrap up his draft.
Yep, Nana and Gianna coming out here. Obviously, Gianna and the Shizuka and have great synergy here, as long as Shizuka is able to get a third skill off here. But that wasn't the case in that very first match, where Sekhmet was able to keep the Shizuka back from doing absolutely anything, but TARS was able to squeeze out the victory anyways.
Nice Riley at the end, he's thinking. Yeah, I think I prefer the Molly just because it provides less chances for Gianna to effectively use that skill 3. So I
agree.
Like that.
100%.
Yeah.
If the Riley had landed, the Riley signaling the ban was going to be on the Gianna, but Gianna's not going to get banned out here. I think it's going to go right back to the Dominic. As funny as it, wait, it might be the Tian Lang actually.
I think
that's going to ruin a lot of units.
I think it's a toss-up. You see, I don't think you were necessarily wrong in that call. I don't know if this is necessarily wrong. I think that there were a lot of really solid bans, and I think you're right that the Dominic presents the biggest burst damage. But Magic Man needs to make something happen with these 4 units that made it through. TARS, if he wins this, he's stepping ahead to the semis.
Yeah, well, Magic Man's going to get a shot right here. Reset's coming out on top of the Gianna this time. Does not land, though. Bomb's going to come out on top of the Masha, and he's definitely going to be stunning up that Praha.
The archetypal Sekhmet experience, let me tell you. She is so good when she's good, but boy, is she bad when she's bad. That's how it be.
That is definitely rough. So the bomb does land on top of the Sekhmet, and I think the Sekhmet is the better decision than the Masha here, because if he gets rid of the Sekhmet already missed one reset. Reset's going to be up once again, so if he removes the Sekhmet, he doesn't have to worry about the lockdown going out here. Dominic just doing his amazing things here.
Holy Shizuka, am I right? No, that was a pretty effective removal of the Praha. Super stellar. I was not expecting even Dominic to do that much damage for some reason, but a defense break plus a Dominic just makes magic happen.
Yep, it really was. Not magic for Magic Man, that's for sure.
Oh,
and there goes
dear.
the Sekhmet. What a dominant performance coming out of TARS. Just removing these units one by one. Goes for the skill 2, just potentially strips off the buff off of the Masha. There that goes. And then we've got a skill 2 to help probably get the skills back up onto the Gianna for just a bomb and then strip again.
What did you say? What did you say at the start of this when the bands were going out, Stoic? Who did you say to ban?
The very dominant Dominic here.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Just the defense break into the skill 2 from Dominic. I mean, we've seen that more times than any of us would like to encounter. It's crazy. So Masha's going to try to do something here. The writing is pretty much on the wall, I think, for Magic Man. But when it's SWC, you might as well just play it out and see if something happens.
Yeah, enjoy your time out here in SWC. It was a really rough. The second you saw that Praha disappear, you kind of knew that it was going to be game over right there. Just Dominic just does so much damage. It's honestly astounding to see this unit work here. And there you have it. TARS with the 3-0 on Magic Man.